Hola, gringas y gringos, and welcome to
Gringos R Us.
Expats with a Plan.
I'm Mark.
I'm Gina.
This week we're going to take you to the Cementerio General in Merida. Coming up right after this.
And welcome back. So, as Mark said, we're taking you to Merida's General Cemetery. Now, the trigger warning, if you don't like cemeteries and you don't like
Human remains.
you may want to skip this video, but gotta tell you, it's got a lot of really interesting architecture and there's some beautiful, beautiful mausoleums
And it has a lot of character.
and sculpture.
Yeah.
So enjoy the video.
expect to see vultures sitting up on those branches.
We're taking a walk through Merida's General Cemetery. I think it's one of the largest cemeteries in Merida. It's definitely one of the oldest. There was a law declared, I want to say 1820, 1822, something like that, where bodies could not be buried within the city of Merida any longer. They had to be buried outside the gates, outside the city. So they built this cemetery. And the mausoleums have some of the richest, most well-known, well-to-do families as grave sites. But there are simple, and there are also very poor burial places here. Dia de los Muertos in Merida is a really big thing, and they literally march right past our Airbnb down to this cemetery. And they have ofrendas, a candlelit parade. Everyone's dressed up with the Katrina face makeup. We're going to miss that since we're not going to be here during that time. But I thought it was interesting that there are boxes, just bones in the box. Bones that have been removed from a grave and cleaned, and they're in a box. And these are full of metal boxes. Somebody's trash in them. Well, for those of you who stuck that out,
And there were things that were sticking out.
there were things sticking out. Look, I'm the family historian, genealogist. I'm one of those people that I will walk through cemeteries for hours looking to take a photograph of a headstone for somebody, but I do that. I will go there, and if I'm near somebody's cemetery request, I will go to a cemetery and hunt headstones and take photographs and things. I find that these sculptures are beautiful. Mausoleums are fascinating. I don't know. I really enjoyed taking a walk through there.
It's just the culture is so different. It's getting used to. I mean, you walk a cemetery in the U.S., you are not going to see remains. That's just not going to happen.
No.
And for us, it took a little getting used to. First, it was like, those are human remains. What? And
Well, and it's kind of like the catacombs in Paris, for example.
yeah,
Like when the cemeteries get too full, they will dig them up and consolidate. It's kind of like that.
yeah. But I mean, you know, and then it sort of snowballed because first we were seeing them inside the boxes, inside the crypt or whatever that you wanted to call that.
Ossuary.
And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden we go down 30 feet and there's remains outside. And it's just sort of was
Just
like,
laying on the ground. Yeah.
and then the other thing that just blew me away was people that would put trash in there with somebody's ancestral remains. I don't get it.
Yeah, that Coke bottle.
Yeah, Coke.
Maybe that the ancestor liked Coke. I'm reaching.
You're reaching
I'm reaching
far.
right
I
now.
mean, you know,
I
because
know.
you know, bottles of electrolyte, beer, soda. It floored me that anybody would actually think that, yeah, I can just stick this in here. That to me is just, I wouldn't dream of doing it walking down the street, much less putting it in alongside somebody's remains. To me, that's just,
Well, one of the things I'm kind of a little bit sorrowful about is the fact that we're actually going to miss a really huge ceremony in Day of the Dead. It's not the same in the Yucatan. The Yucatan has a Mayan tradition, and they call it Hanal Pichan. It's basically food, Hanal, and Pichan for the souls, so food for the souls. And of course, food is central. But the big thing is Paseo de Animas, the march or the walk or the parade of souls. And our Airbnb that we literally just left was directly on the path of Paseo de Animas. We could have stood on the roof and watched it go by. And you know, what are you going to do?
we didn't know.
We didn't know. And so it's Calle 66, and it goes straight through our neighborhood. It went straight.
Basically from Central all the way down
Yes,
to the
No.
cemetery itself.
Past the
and
church at Ermita, straight into the cemetery. So I added a little bit about that toward the end, which I hope you enjoyed. Of course, you know, none of that was anything that I caught personally. So I wish I could say more about it. But I think that if you're interested in doing Day of the Dead, understand that in the Yucatan, it is a little bit different. They do things a little bit differently.
in just about everything. They have their own,
it's
they
true.
really do
It's true.
hold to that Mayan culture here in the Yucatan Peninsula. And that's part of the allure of the Yucatan is that Mayan culture that permeates through along with traditional Mexico. They don't plant anything.
No.
They just add to.
Yeah.
And it's really is quite amazing to watch and witness what they do down here.
You know, I have to say, I could have walked through there for hours. I mean, he and a couple of our friends were sort of sitting around waiting for me to get done doing my meandering. And I'm walking inside and outside of some of the mausoleums and stuff. And it was fascinating. And there's stuff I didn't even see. There are guides on the internet, you can find them in easy Google search, that will explain which mausoleums belong to which families, what type of architectural style they are, when they were built, what statues are found behind them, next to them, etc., who sculpted them. It's just, there is so much there to see.
And it's really amazing that you go from things that are so well kept to literally a few feet away that no one has touched for decades or centuries. I mean, it really is. And the size of the cemetery itself is immense.
It's enormous.
Is huge.
It used to be a cattle hacienda. So it was an hacienda for a cattle ranch. And whenever they had to move burials outside of the city, it was basically donated for this use. And it's expanded, since that time even.
And you have to be aware that there is a fair amount of cut-through driving traffic because the airport is not that far away. And if you are coming from the airport and you want to go to Centro, the fastest way is actually through the cemetery. You just shoot right up, come right through the cemetery, get on 64, boom, you're there. And yes, I'm guilty. I did that. But I mean, it's so commonplace that that's just the way it is.
It's not like your typical cemetery.
No.
I mean, it's a lot of concrete. There's a lot of crumbling structures. You are absolutely free to walk through that cemetery every day of the week.
And you could do it for a week and you still wouldn't see everything.
I mean, every day for a week up until 5 p.m. And then, of course, they do night tours, also free, on Wednesday evenings. But yeah, there's so much to walk around and look at there. You just have to be careful. Watch where your feet go.
Yes.
There are open spots in the ground. If you're going to walk up along the mausoleums, be careful that you don't do jumping or anything. You could break a slab or something.
And also pay attention because there's a fair amount of swarming bugs that you have to just sort of, and you can see them. I mean, we ran into a couple instances where it was like, oh, I think I'm going to go down a couple before I move through. So,
if you've got that morbid curiosity, you could spend a day out there and it won't cost you a dime.
My hint is it's going to cost you more than a dime because you're going to need to go buy about 10 electrolytes. I'm just saying because you are going to need them. And
there's no bathroom out there?
No.
And there's no real close by places to buy anything to drink. You have to, of course, exit the cemetery to find something.
There's a Six store that's right there. It sits where the cemetery road comes out, and you have 66 and 64 right there. But that's the closest place.
You will find a section mostly for children, and there is a pet section that I never found, but I know it's there.
So they say.
Yeah, it's there. I just didn't find it.
Urban legend is
for pets
that there's a pet cemetery.
There is.
And Fred Gwynn is still walking around. So
Jed. Jed. His name was Jed in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I hope we didn't scare you off too much.
Hopefully we gave you something that you don't normally see from Mexico.
True that.
So
remember that we are Gringos Are Us.
Expats with a plan.
And we are doing it. You can too.
And here's some other videos you might want to check out.
Hasta la próxima, best.
Adios.